the lion of probably those debts. Have you ever had to wake up in the middle of the night and you can't sleep because there are bills to pay, or someone has just rang you to say there's something back home you need to sort out? Now, if it's not clear, and if you don't sort that out, the reason for you being here might just be one of those things you do on Saturdays, and it's just there, and nothing is taken out of it. And I thought there might be a need for us to get that sorted and address that now. So you might have heard that one of the things that could help you is how to become a business analyst. And that might be a path to that journey. This would be a yes and a no. In other words, this could actually help you escape that line that we've spoken about, or is it going to be devoured by the lion? Why do I think so? Because I am a business analyst, one of the things I do with is data. So let me throw some data at you such that it will provoke you and you would actually, wake up to the reason why you left everything you could be doing this morning to come here. One, stat says that a migrant, apparently from a minority ethnic group that comes into the Western world, is likely to do better than those that were originally born there. It's proven, especially within Black communities. For those that migrated, they pick up good things in few years, the springfall, than those that were originally there. So in other words, wherever you come from, you're in a good place. You fit into the stats. Secondly, stats equally says that of the migrant group, especially in the UK, those, and apologies to those that may not be originally Black, but the stat says that on the pyramid, the least are equally Blacks. Let me repeat myself. So from those that migrated, if you're Blacks would do fairly better than those that were born. But within that same sector, I used to between people, yes, sir. Those that will make that remains at the lower echelon are still Blacks. So that lion, recall my analogy of the lion and the gazelle, it's still hovering around. Let me provoke you with another question. It's because if we don't do this, it might just be one of those things that you just left your bed. But when your heart is ignited with this, then again you ask yourself, I have left everything, I might as well make the best use of this session. I don't mean to be disrespectful or derogatory. How many of us are in the sectors like the care or the security? I've done such before, so I'm raising up my hand. Okay. Have you seen a Jew in that sector? Are you sure? Have you seen an Arab, like from Saudi Arabia or Kuwait or in that section, in that sector? No. If you see them, probably they want it. In your spare time, you could make your research to check who wants Tesco. How many of you have shopped at Tesco before? Or maybe I'm right. So if you have the time, go, you would see. So in other words, let's start to think. If we are at the lower pyramid and one of the ways is to probably journey and do this, then we must start to think why we need to do what we need to do, such that we just don't sit here and just listen to the beautiful speakers and you go and it's business as usual. Not to bore with stats, the last one is this. Stats have shown that those that choose to remain back home from where we came from, if they apply themselves, they could actually do well to the extent that they send their children down here and they pay for their tuition cash. But guess what? The stats also says that you, their friend that came in, if you are not careful, you might have to send yours to school on student loan. So you then begin to ask yourself, what's the advantage of you living where you lived? Except for probably, those your winter shirts or your coats, and the pictures you take in snow, and then you go up to some buildings and just cross and take pictures. My job is to provoke our thoughts this month so that when we can actually listen and go out with the mindset to do. Ladies and gentlemen, I have come to tell you that it is possible. Whatever reason why you might have found yourself in the UK, whatever and wherever reason why you're here, it is possible to actually make those dreams come true. Make those dreams come true. I kid you not, 6-digit figure per annum is possible without doing anything illegal. I assure you it is possible to move from renting to owning properties in this place. I guarantee you it is possible to be financially free without doing anything dodgy. The journey may be tough, but it is possible. And I thought someone needed that before we start. So now that I have been successful at getting your attention, within the next couple of minutes, let's have a look at this. So the journey to become a business analyst. I'm trying to click, someone help me. Oh, okay. So I'll do. Okay, so I've just done a very quick summary of what this could mean. Who is a business analyst? What does it entail? How will be function? And the life cycle. But probably because of time, I might just do on maybe the first three. So So what will a business analyst do? Typically, it's just to solve a problem, but in a methodical, systemic way. Not to maximize or explore business opportunities. So in an organization, the reason why you might be coming in is probably there is a problem to be solved or an opportunity to be explored. Let me bring it home. Maybe the company organization is having difficulty in onboarding, when they run at a loss and they want to streamline that processes, you could come in. Or there is an opportunity that's been said and they're thinking, how can we maximize this? Then that's another reason why a business analyst may be coming in to improve an existing system. Depending on the industry you are, most likely maybe an IT or banking, it's always around systems. So you must have you must be willing, or capable to want to do things around systems thinking and all of that. So all of these three that I've mentioned, to either solve a problem, explore business opportunity, or improve the system, it is summarily mentioned as gaps. Now, there is nothing you will do there. Two major things that it's like a song that you would always hear in that industry, as is and to be, as is and to be. In other words, how things were and how you want things to be. And remember, it's like there's a ditch, there's a gallop. So there is a need for you to bridge those two sides. And interestingly, that's just what the BA does in summary. Now, how a BA will function depending on the organization. Number one, you assess the needs. Number two, you identify the opportunities. So it's usually a cycle. So you understand the present state, just like I've said, as is, you design or you define what the future state it should be, and now you begin to, define what are the gaps. Why is that the gap between point A, recall, you as is and to B, you can run away from it. From point A to point B, how do you bridge that gap? So that's why, the services or why you should be employed in the first case. And sometimes there's a need to do some business case around that. I'll just 6 more minutes. I think. See what might be very important due to time. I think you might want to need this. This is much more important to say. There will be a couple of sessions this morning. Then you want to check, would this be for me? Will I fit into this? How do I know if this would be for me or I would fit into this? Then these are the things you want to check. So if this describes you, then chances are that you might like this. Because recall from the first introduction I made, you're running away from something. But if you're running and you need a particular way to do it, you want to check, does this fit my personality? Is this something I'd like to do? So that's why I thought this might be helpful. Are you a detector? Let me bring that home. Are you the type that when they give you a form to fill, or maybe you've just bought like a form, or they ask you to sign, then those things are very tiny and you want to think, I don't need it. But if you're that type that you could actually go through those lines and trying to check, oh, you didn't dot this T, or didn't, dot this I, cross this T, big detector, this might fit you. Because basically what you might be doing is you discover and examine information. Are you a researcher? Do you love to investigate customer needs? That might also suit you. I recall I was working for a public sector at some point, and we have people that we call suppliers. So those are people that might want to call consultants. And they issued a very nice not bore you with the jargons, we'll do that in the syndicates. But all in summary, they invoiced us of thousands of pounds. And guess what? They did that twice. So it has scaled the first stage. So it came to me. And I was just checking. And I realized that, guys, I'm just going to 5 or 10,000 pounds. And I realized that you've billed us twice. And I just asked, well, this is twice. And said, oh, sorry, we didn't, just like that. So if I didn't check, that's how your tax. So it needs to be that. Then you need to underline issues and identify opportunities, just like you said. Persuade or half of what you do, because interestingly, the role of that PA is that you intersect or interface between the technical people and the business. Technical people in the sense that they speak all of those jargons and what you think sometimes is alien to you in a way that they interpret that in a way that the business can, understand. So a key thing you do is managing stakeholders. You will find those people that when you come in contact with them, you ask yourself, why did I wake up this morning? I should still be on my bed. And you find some of the people that, okay, they are very, very interesting to engage with. So the key, so if you've got that people skills, this might fit. You might fit into this. Now, facilitator, coordinate meetings and workshop, again, that's part of what you would do. Meetings. So if you don't like taking notes, if you don't like engaging, you might want to reconsider. Or if you indeed like that, set up meetings understand what this person is saying, what that person is saying, and trying to bring it together. Those are some of the soft skills you might be needing. Communicator or communicating effectively and efficiently. So, have you ever been in a place whereby after speaking, the person said, I didn't say that? And so there's a difference between what was said and what was heard. So you really need to be top-notch on that to want to think that, okay, are you able to do this or can you do this? Those are, I think, the essential skills that would need. And so if you check and you think, okay, I could be a detective, could be a researcher, I love to identify what is the reason behind what is happening. So if somebody came in late or you will come, somebody comes in late, it's not that the person was late. You begin to want to check, why did the person come late? So if the person woke up late, why did he wake up late? Or why was he or she stayed awake late? So you begin, and those are such of the skills you must be inquisitive and be willing to do that. And I think probably, so I don't overload you with information, this, in my view, is what you might need now. I'm sure, as I can see, some are already writing questions in the syndicate session, breakout session. We will be looking into that in much more detail. I think it's a good place to stop. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I also believe this is a good way to start, and for a lot of us, I just want to remind us that we have a plain sheet and writing pen on the table so we can take down our questions. And personally, it's not the first time I'm hearing about business analysts, and I know along the line, a number of us, there are possibility of switching. Yes, career. Yes, I know of a senior architect in Nigeria, well experienced, and he has been here for a year, practicing, and all of a sudden I noticed they are switching very senior business analyst. So we'll proceed to the next session, and the next speaker, she's Amarachi Enuma, is a seasoned professional pursuing a master's degree in digital marketing and analytics with extensive experience as social media manager and brands and marketing officer for a B2B tech company. She excels in optimizing digital marketing channels for growth and increased sales, while also passionately engaging in content creation, YouTube, and fashion design. She stays current with industry trend through various certification, positioning herself as a thought leader in digital marketing. Please welcome Amarachi.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, as I was reading that, I was trying to think, is that really me? I've done so much with my life that if you don't write it down or track it, you lose focus and you start focusing on things that you're not doing well. And you forget that there are things that you've done in your past that you should congratulate yourself for. And I'll first start by congratulating you all for being here. Congrats on the decision to, scale in your career. A lot of people have other things to do, but you're here today. God bless you for being here, and I pray that the goal that you came here to achieve, you achieve it. Okay, so, I don't know if I need to reintroduce myself, but just for formalities. Hi, I'm Amarachi Enuma. I'm a digital marketing specialist, content creator, YouTuber, and fashion designer. I am passionate about growth and skill enhancement and love coaching people too, which is why I'm here today. I have used experience working with several brands and businesses in the fashion, lifestyle, beauty, and tech industry, where I optimize the digital marketing channels for growth and increased sales. So aside being in the corporate space, my content creation career has also given me the opportunity to partner with brands and help them grow their business online and make sales. So this is a quick rundown of what we're going to be discussing today. Basic concept about digital marketing, understanding the digital landscape, because for some people it might be a broad term, it might be something new to you, you're just hearing it for the first time. Building personal branding for career, advancement strategies for business visibility, and growth practical tips for success careers. And I'll run a recap on everything. Before I continue, hi to everyone online. Thank you for joining. So God bless you for joining as well. Don't worry, you're not forgotten. Yeah, my heart as well. So what is digital marketing and why should we care about it? To put it plain and simple, digital marketing is the process of selling goods and services online. It's that simple. I mean, you can be scrolling through Instagram and you see someone saying she makes £1,000 in a day, and you're wondering how does she do this kind of thing? So it feels like magic. It's digital marketing. And as I go forth, you will be able to understand how people are able to do it, the different branches of digital marketing, because it's a large umbrella. There are so many possibilities, so many opportunities under digital marketing that people don't even know about. Some that you're even engaged in, but you don't even know that you could make money from it. It's also a way for companies to approach consumers and understand their behavior. So what's the importance of digital marketing? Why should we care about digital marketing? Why should we even bother to know what digital marketing is about? First off, it helps in growth and increase brand awareness. So for instance, let's say this jacket I'm wearing, I made the jacket and I want people to buy that jacket. How do I expect them to know that this jacket exists if I don't put it online to let them know, hi, my name is Amarachi, I'm the CEO of so brand. I make this jacket, it's leather, it's cotton, it's whatever material, it goes for so price, purchase it here through this link, whatnot. That's how you let people know that your brand exists. That's how they can approach you and come and decide to buy your jacket. You're offering them value online. So you have put yourself on the map, on the digital map, so that people are aware of your presence and existence. That's how you grow, because the more people are aware of you, the more sales come in. To target online customers, through ads, there are 5.35 billion people using the internet in 2024, which amounts to 66.2% of global population. So if you're a business owner here or you are a service provider, you're missing out on these 5.35 billion people if you're not putting your business online. Imagine the amount of money you're sleeping on and you're wondering why you're not making £1,000 in a day like some other people are doing. It's not magic, it's just this. It's more cost effective than traditional marketing methods, and you have complete control over your money. So if I put my business on a billboard and people are just passing it, you can't track the people that know your brand or people that have seen that billboard. You can't track how much you're going to get from revenue from that billboard. But if you put it, let's say, on Facebook ads analytics will show you how much you're getting in terms of traffic, first off, how many likes, how many comments, how many shares, how many people are purchasing through that link, how many people are visiting that link. Can you see you have control? You can see everything. It's like as if no, you're the, let me then put it like that, see you're God there, monitoring everybody. And then when you now see some people are not buying, you will now think of a strategy. Okay, maybe it's this video that I posted, they don't like it. Maybe I should use this approach. That's what digital marketing helps you to do. It helps to measure performance, like I said. It is faster and more efficient. You target people faster than billboards. Good return on your investment. You're able to track performance of your campaign. It gives you an edge over your competitors. I'm going to run through so that I don't waste too much time. And in the breakout session, I'll go further into details in any area that you're interested in. So there are different types of digital marketing. There's content marketing, which is part of what I do, content creation. Social media marketing, PPC and SCM. PPC is pay per click, that's ads. If people tap on your ads, you're being charged as a business owner or the page that is running that ad. SCM is search engine marketing. You're using keywords to place your brand in on online platforms. So for instance, if I go on YouTube, I want to learn how to make Nigerian smoky jollof. If the title of your YouTube video doesn't have any of those keywords in it, YouTube will not recommend your video to that YouTube viewer. But if you use certain keywords that are very important and have high search volume, there is a very high possibility that you will get more awareness or more reach than people that are not using that strategy. But SEM is now when you now pay. You pay Google when you search for, let's say, Nigerian restaurants near me, or Spanish restaurants near me, Taiwanese restaurants near me. The people that come up first, they've done this. They've done this. That's why they're coming up first. It's either they have done the SEO very well, that they have mastered how customers think, and they've used the exact words that they are going to use to place on their page, or they have paid that platform to push their business to people. That's why when you search on Google, you see the first part is sponsored, and the remaining ones are organic. Then there's email marketing, sending emails to people. People are making money from that too, from their room. They just wake up 10 a.m., send emails to different people. And then there are also digital platforms that automate these processes for you. You don't have to manually send email to 10,000 people. No. There are tools that you will just put all their emails in one place and then tell it, oh, this is the email draft. You click one button, it has sent to everybody. Go back and sleep. The money is entering. And you think it's magic. It's not. They just know the trick. Marketing automation, inbound marketing, affiliate marketing, and the website. So we need to understand the digital landscape. I'll not focus so much on this because I believe I've touched a lot of it. If you want people to know about you, talk about yourself online. So these are digital marketing tools that you can use and platforms. So you have SEMrush, Hootsuite, Hotjar, Osumo, Moz, Canva, Google Analytics. Let me highlight Canva because Canva was what I used to make my slides. So you can use PowerPoint. It's a digital marketing tool. You can use Microsoft Office Word. It's a digital marketing tool. How you design it, how you put templates is what will differentiate you from another person's own presentation. So some of these are tools that you can use to search for keywords that are high ranking and know what to put on your page. For instance, MailChimp. I talked about sending a mail to 10,000 people. You can use MailChimp for that. I talked about getting keywords that are high ranking that you want to put on your page. You can use SEMrush, you can use HubSpot, you can use, I think I use Hootsuite as well, but Sumo, and you can also track your competitors with it. It's part of the paid version, but you can tell the platform that whenever my competitor is mentioned online, notify me. So you're spying on them. So I'm selling this jacket. Pastor is selling this jacket. I want to know why they are buying from Pastor, why they're not buying from me. How many times is he posting on the social media? How many times is he mentioned on blogs and articles? Okay, he's doing his own 5 times a day. I will do 10. Let me see how he will be too. Can you see the strategies? So you're not only thinking about yourself, your competitors are also after you. Everybody's chasing that money. Everybody's chasing that 5.35 billion people. So if you're not smart about your strategies and your processes, they will outsmart you in the market and you'll now be wondering why people are closing up. It's because they've not found out that secret of how to, excel in that space. But once you do, what's £1 million in it? Then there are more tools, Google Analytics, Google My Business, Google Tag Manager. So Google Tag Manager helps you to monitor the analytics and performance of your website. So, okay, the one for apps is not here. But basically, when you create a Google Analytics account, you're able to track your website. You're able to, it's like, man, when I was taking that course, I was like, oh, wow. You can know where they are coming from. If the person is coming to your website from, say, an ad you run on social media, you know that, okay, this is what is bringing income. Keep doing it, keep running that ad. If it's that a consumer mentioned you, because some people, what helps them blow online when their sales is somebody enjoyed experiencing their product or enjoyed that food that they made and they felt like, I don't want to keep this to myself. This is so good that other people should partake in it. And they go and mention it online. And then you are now wondering, like, you were on 2,000 followers yesterday. Today you're on 15K. Tomorrow you're on 100K. Next tomorrow you're on 200K. I've seen a brand that they did puff puff. Most of you are Nigerian here, so you might know. They did puff puff and they added milk on it. And that's somebody, fortunately for them, was an influencer. She bought that puff puff and made a TikTok video about it. If you know the millions the people made in 1 week, they didn't pay her. They did not. They produced a good product. Someone spoke about them online from the genuineness of their heart. And my God, trust them to make her their brand ambassador now. They had to key into the publicity. So can you see? It's not just you doing the hard work. Once you do the hard work, your business starts to speak for you. Before you enter that room, before you introduce yourself, they already know who you are because you have done the work behind. These are social media platforms. I mean, we use social media. So, yeah, what is personal branding? Personal branding is people's perception of you. It's who they think you are before you even introduce yourself. That's why I wrote here. Personal branding is the introduction before the introduction. So if you've not worked on yourself as an individual, as a business, why is Nike Nike? Why is Apple Apple? Why is Jeff Bezos? They have something unique to them that you cannot steal. So once you find out your identity as a business, as an individual, as a career professional, as whatever, use that as your selling points. And that's how you thrive in your business because nobody can steal that secret from you. So to find your personal brand, think about these things. What makes you unique? What strengths, experiences, and values differentiates you from others? For that brand, was putting milk on their puff-puff. Why should people favor you over others? What about you resonates with your target audience and shows your potential? You have to be able to connect with them. If you can't connect with them, then you're losing that customer. You're losing their interest. They don't find any value. They don't find any need to connect with you or to buy your goods or your products. So they might as well just move to the next person. How to build your personal brand? Define your brand. Define who you are and what you stand for. Define your target audience. You need to know your target audience so you're targeting the right people. Because a lot of people will say they run ads, but they're not seeing sales. It's because you're not targeting the right people. You're not putting the right interest, the right geographic location, the right age range, all those things. Know them. Do your research very well before you start. Develop your messaging clear and consistent. Build your online presence on digital platforms. Engage with your audience and monitor and adapt. So strategies for businesses to build visibility and growth. Just run through it because I'm almost out of time. Identifying and understanding target audience to tailor your marketing efforts effectively. Creating engaging content by leveraging storytelling and visuals. This means how are you telling that story? How are you letting them know that you want them to buy from you? So if I want to create a content for this jacket now to make people buy it, I can come in the area of, oh, you want to look smart for your interview, you want to look like a boss babe, this one, that one, that one. You came to that feeling, I want to feel like that too. Let me go and buy it so me I can drink bad one. Tracking business performance using analytics tools. Data is very important. If you don't have the data, what you're doing is not relevant because you'll just be wasting time and resources. Running targeted ads and then improve SEO for a higher ranking. So practical tips for success, time management and consistency. You need to keep going, keep pushing. The beginning is never sweet, it's never easy. It's never a smooth sail in the park. Like you have to, even content creation that I'm doing. How many times I want to give up? Somebody will post a video today, a business owner will post a video today, you have 2 likes, 2 comments, 1 save, and you're crying. You don't know that those people that are liking and saving are also important. That's why I began by saying you forget your past and focus on your present. Those people are also important. Some people are seeing you, but they're not engaging. They are monitoring you. Let me see how you'll be in the next 10 years. People want to key into success. By the time you just hit it like this, everybody will jump. So don't worry, the beginning seems rough. Keep going, keep going, keep going. You see what you want. Setting key performance indicators, set reasonable KPIs, things that you know that you can achieve. Don't go set the one that is beyond you, and then you now feel overwhelmed. You're going to do it yourself. Nobody did it to you. Use data to inform decision making and optimize marketing strategies so you're not doing guesswork. The data is available for you, so make use of it. And then community management. So, very important, career paths in digital marketing. I mentioned that there are lots of things that you can do in digital marketing, but a lot of people don't know. So, this is a list of them. This list is not exhaustive. I promise you, there are probably close to 100, if not more. Social media management, SEO specialists, content marketing, graphics designing, email marketing. Some graphics designer are even using Canva, they're earning money. Canva that is free. Somebody's paying you to use something that is free. Can you imagine? Email marketing, affiliate marketing, blogging, all these blogs that talks about latest events, latest happenings. Those are the people. And then brands will even pay for them to be mentioned on their blog. Imagine how big your blog would have blown. And specialist, data analyst, and the guest speaker. And then paid search, SEM, PPC, and many more. So now let me do a quick recap of everything that we've discussed today. Digital marketing is a powerful tool for empowering individuals and businesses. Personal branding is essential to stand out in the crowd. If you're like everybody, if you are blending in, nobody will notice you. If everyone in this room is wearing blue, I can't really differentiate. Like, there's nothing unique in the room for me to look at. But if 10 people are wearing blue, one person out of those 10 is now wearing white, that's the first person that catches your attention. And that's what you want to do in an interview, in corporate space, as a business owner, as an individual, whatever it is you're doing, make sure you stand out. Nobody will sell your markets like you, so be relentless. The only way to get better is to stay committed and be consistent. Having a community that supports you will take you far. And the thing about having a community is when you start and you're struggling, as you're growing, you're finding your community, you're finding people that have gotten interested in what you're doing, interested in your journey, and want to see how you transition to that final fix. Anyone can get into digital marketing, but you have to be ready to put in the work. Let me tell you, I might be saying it's making it sound sweet. You have to, it's hard work. It's not being like that. You will still put in the work, but it's very rewarding when you do it right. My time is up, but I just want to quickly note something. I mentioned nobody will sell your market like you, so be relentless. I needed to put this example. How many of us know Funke Akindele? Very good. She has a new movie coming out, called Finding Me. Do we even know what that movie is about? Nobody knows. But the way she's selling that movie, the day that tickets for the tickets for the movie is out, I'll be the first person in that scene. Her strategy is, you don't even know all the actors, but every day she's revealing them using content creation. You think about all these older people that have been watching growing up, dancing on social media. And recent movie, A Tribe Called Judah, billions in the box office is how much this woman made just because she keyed into digital marketing and she used it the right way. So I hope with everything that I've said, I've encouraged you to key into digital marketing. Thank you.
Thank you. That is becoming hot. Yeah. I hope for most of us, probably you have a side business or you have something you are doing. The top CEOs in the world, the job of a CEO is sales. You have to market. You never can tell when you said introduce yourself. Someone said you might need your service. So if you don't tell people what you do, you never can say you can miss out. So sales is very, very important. So we'll go to the next speaker. Our next speaker is Mr. Oluwafemi Famiwa. He's passionate network solutions architect with extensive experience in designing, testing, and documenting complex network security and cloud solutions. He's proficient in using Cisco, Arista, Juniper, Checkpoint, Fortinet, Palo Alto, F5, Vim, and the likes. So it's an IT specialist. And I know as we discussed business analyst, IT is another in thing. There is no list time for anybody to switch career. So welcome, Mr. Femi.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be here today. I'm happy to see everyone. I'm excited that you all led me to this meeting. So, first and foremost, I wanted to just encourage us that every speaker that are here today, or all speakers that are here today, they are here to help us. I remember when I started in the UK when I came from Nigeria. For my master's degree. So I finished and it was kind of very difficult to get a job. But someone actually introduced me to another person. That's why networking is very, very, very key for this industry. And the person said, IT is the way in the UK. Even though I've actually started my way out in our IT. So I studied wireless networks in University, Queen Mary University of London. By the way, all of family was I'm a senior network engineer, so I specialize in security cloud solutions as well as solution. And I work for a financial technology company that headquarters in the UK and in the US, with a lot of branches in the UK. So how did I start this journey? It hasn't been easy. I will work my way up the ladder, so it's been a long journey. But it was quite challenging first when I initially started. I came to the UK, finished my master's degree, applying for jobs, and it was kind of, a lot of unfortunately, because of lack of experience. People expect you to have experience even though you've never worked in that industry before, especially as graduates. You're coming out as a graduate, you've never, the only thing you have is your theoretical knowledge. No practical experience, and people expect you to have like 2 years experience, 3 years experience. So it was very, very difficult. And I kept on going. So luckily I had networks of like-minded friends that were able to work together. So we knew about the industry. So we did a little bit of research into the IT market, and we discovered that one thing that can beat experience in the IT market is certification. So we locked ourselves in the room, we pay for our rent, and we determined that within 2 months we are going to get a job. So we locked ourselves in the room. One of my friends was doing software development. I was focused more on networking. Then the other guy was more into IT infrastructure. Then we locked ourselves, we started reading, and we wrote certification, we passed the certification. 2 weeks after my certification, I got my first job. My friend got his job, all of us were employed. But I'm here to share my experience with you. I don't want to bring a lot of theories. I'm not here to sell myself. I'm here to help you to get into the industry. If you've been struggling to get into the industry, maybe you've tried so hard and you get frustrated about a lot of unfortunately. In fact, other than a few speakers, but failure is not the opposite of success. Yeah. Failure is part of success. So you want to tell your story by saying, I tried this, it didn't work. But actually, it was a stepping stone for me to get to where the next level I needed to get to at the time. So don't be afraid of, especially when you have passion in this industry, don't be afraid, just keep going, you'll get there. I mean, my sister-in-law is there, she can attest as well. Pastor is here, I'm Pastor Beji. I remember when he was trying to get into the world of the business analyst. So you always try, but you only need, like I said, I always tell people, because I work with a lot of people, which I advise a lot of people, mentor a lot of people into this space. You just need one yes. You can have 10,000 no's, but you just need one yes. Trust me, if you get into the industry, you can't get out again, because you're going to be moving from one. And the rate at which you move is determined by you. The rate at which you earn cash. My brother was talking about 6 figures. 6 figures in IT is very, very easy. Trust me. It's easy, but you need to have strategies. You need to plan. You understand? And IT is a diverse market. You know, you can't just say, I'm going into IT. You don't even understand, or you've not researched, you don't even know what the field you're going. So research is very, very key as well. So I might not be able to go through all the slides, but hopefully during the breakout session, I'll be able to tell you a few stories about myself. How I worked my way up from earning £25,000, even though it was a lot at the time. A friend of mine that said we worked together at a job, he started with £16,000 a year. Then I got a job 2 weeks after, a month after, when he got a job, £25,000. Then he resigned. He said he can't. He said, "Femi can't get 25,000, and he's $16,000." He resigned. A month later, he resigned without having a job. He resigned, went back to the table, started reading, applied for series of jobs. He got a job a month later, £28,000. This guy is a top director in a hedge fund company in the UK, as we speak. And I'm a vice president, network engineer in my company. We have offices around the globe. So I don't know whether. Sorry, I'm going to. Is it working?
It's working.
Yeah. All right, okay, yeah. So I have limited time here today, but what I want to focus, I want to channel my energies on people that are actually ready, people that want me to go on this journey with them. So like I told Pastor, it's not enough to just come to a place like this and say, oh, you want to do this. You have to be ready. You have to be ready. It's not going to be easy, but your persistency and your determination will get you there. You just need to step your feet into the industry, and I'll tell you, or I can mentor you on how to progress your way up the ladder, but if you're willing, because I'm not going to push you. So the people that are finding very hard to get into industry are usually the graduates. Now, especially in the Black community, the reason why it's very tedious is why if you're coming here for a master's degree, you shouldn't be struggling to get a graduate job, to be honest. If you came here for a master's degree, you should be looking for mid-level kind of experience IT roles. Because to get a graduate job in the UK, even with your master's degree, is very difficult. People here in the UK that's going to be their BSc, there are a lot of people that actually are going for that graduate roles, and there's a lot of steps. They have a lot of sessions, and trust me, it's very, very difficult to get a graduate role. So I wouldn't advise anyone, if you're currently here studying, you're a student, to even start out and say you were going for a graduate role. No, start with a mid-level job. Mid-level kind of entry kind of role, but you can work your way up the ladder. Career switches. So you want to switch careers, maybe you're tired, you're being a project manager, business analyst, or even being all the things that are known in the STEM industry, in the science, technology, engineering, and so on and so forth. But you want to switch into IT. Trust me, it's a lot easier than you think, only if you are ready to put in the work. And mid-level specialist as well. If you're in industry, you know, if you are in industry and you're mid-level, entry level, or let's say mid-level, one of the frustrations you can have is too comfortable in your comfort zone. If you're too comfortable in your comfort zone, you will start growing. And you'll be surprised that somebody that is passionate about this industry will get in and get ahead of you. So don't be too comfortable in your comfort zone. But again, my strategy is to actually help people in this mid-range as well, mid-level roles as well, to be able to advance and actually progress in their career, to get to where they need to get to. Whether it's working up the ladder or command the right pay that you want in the industry. Top reason why you want to work in the IT industry. Trust me, this is not just pertaining to the UK market, it's pertaining to the world. Global, even in Nigeria, IT pays very well. You can't deny that. Trust me, I was researching, and it's very easy to move. Serious, like I started, okay, today I want to move. I mean, even this week alone, I know the number of jobs. I've rejected a number of job offers, good offers, 6 figures. But you have to know what you want. IT pays very well. And I was looking at LinkedIn recently, and I saw a lot of security jobs in the US, in the UK, for, in the US, a couple of ones, $500,000. But again, it's not something you just get, you're just hand it. So it's something you have to start. I say start small, think big, and move big. So there are varieties of career opportunities. You know, there's so vast industry. When you hear IT, you know, a lot of people hear IT. A lot of people don't even understand, okay, what are the categories of IT jobs or IT specialties or roles that are available. So it's a vast industry, you know, it's a really, really vast. So you have to research into the opportunities that you really want. I'm going to go over that again, but I'm going to be specializing more on this. I'm going to be more specific during the breakout session and helping you to know where you are at the moment. What are your career goals? What do you want to get from this industry if you really have interest in this industry? No shortage of jobs. You know, in the IT market, you know, when they said they were laying people off, and then during COVID and everything like that, that was when the IT market was booming. A lot of people working from home. All the infrastructure that you guys were using was IT that was powering it. So there's no shortage of that. Even when they are laying people off, even when they lay you off, you know, was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago that Google laid a lot of their employees off? People got, I mean, you can easily get a job. There was one time ago, I was working in a company in Canary Wharf, and the company said, oh, they're going to sell the company to another company. I even applied, I applied for the voluntary redundancy. I want to be made redundancy. I collected the redundancy money. I didn't have any job, but I was so sure I was going to get another job. And within a month, I got another job in the financial sector. So easy career growth, work-life balance, like remote working and things like that. And you must be, if you love innovations, you like this industry. I'm not going to go into this in details, but I will probably focus a bit more on this during the breakout session, on how to help you plan your career. To plan from where you currently are, look at your interest, look at your strength, look at what you want to do, and how you progress. Having a career plan in place to say, this is where I want to be in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years, and how do you get there? What are the things you need to put in place? What are the things you need to start doing now to get to where you want to get to? And to be honest, I give this for you to be an IT pro, IT professional. That means work very confident IT professionals. Trust me, you don't need more than 4 to 5 years in this industry. If you're serious. If you're not serious, you can spend 4 years in the first position as an IT analyst. Because a lot of people just get into a job, and this applies to all the careers. A lot of people get into the industry, and when they get into an industry or a career or a role, they get so comfortable and they relax on doing something that's a routine, and they enjoy it and they don't progress. So you have to know, you have to work with your plan, basically. Know when it's time to move, when it's time to leave. Basically, don't spend too much time in the company. If it's time for you to move, if your company doesn't align with your career goals, move. And like I said, it's a very, sorry, let me get some water. So like I said, it's a very broad industry. So but I usually encourage people to start out from here. But when you're starting out from here, you're not targeting the graduate roles. If you're a student here, don't ever go for a graduate role, because the chance of you getting a graduate role is like probably 2%. Trust me. I've been to a lot of graduate interviews, and you know, it's so tedious that there are about 5-6 stages. The people that just graduating like from PSC, and you have to be in a group with them, talk with them, and you know, these people are really very intelligent in this, and they're very eloquent and articulate. You know, so the chances of you competing against them, the chance of you competing against them is very, very low. So specialization. So you start out here first, and what this is going to expose you to, it's going to expose you to understanding the fundamentals. You know, this is where IT come into place. So it will help you to understand the service management. It helps you understand something around computer infrastructure, network infrastructure, security infrastructures. So you start learning some terminologies. You will do more of a lot of monitoring, support, kind of management kind of responsibility, opening ticket and stuff like that, very basic stuff. But this will expose you to areas of specialization in industry, which is where you're going to. This is your focus. So, and in each of these particular areas, there are lots, they are vast. The software, we've got mobile app developer or development, we've got web development. So we've got a lot of stuff on that software alone. Cybersecurity is a big thing, like I said. You can hear, you know, 1,000 pounds a day if you work as a contractor, if you like to work as a contractor, and then 1,000, 1,500 a day by just being the security specialist. Networks is big, everything, data is big, like my brother said, it's a big thing. You know, data is money, but everything rides on my network. So without the network, you can't get anything. So since I was talking about content creation as well, everything still rides on the network. If the network is not there, the global village is down. Data. So there's a lot of specialty on that data as well. Data analysis, data security, data scientist as well. So data scientist kind of very, is a very advanced kind of role. And cloud is where the industries are moving to. I work in the financial sector, like I said. A lot of financial technology companies are moving towards the cloud. But the only reason why they're not moving towards the cloud at the moment is because of the cloud is not agnostic, I mean, to latency and also cloud, what's it called now? Proprietary vendors. So interoperability of vendors is a big challenge in the cloud. So advanced resource automation. I'm actually here at the moment. I'm going here. So I do this, and 50% of this at the moment as part of my current role. But I introduce a lot of automation into it now, because with automation, you can be the go-to person and you can revolutionize a lot of things in your company. But I can go into more details if you're interested in the area of this. So I can break it down in details. It's software, different specialization on that software, on that security, on the networks. So this one is just a quick snapshot of one of the things that can get you started in the IT industry. So basically, this is a Google certification on Coursera. You don't pay for it, but you pay for subscription on Coursera basically to actually be able to enroll for this particular course. But it covers some basic stuff, some basic content to get you started in the industry. Similar to, what I mentioned earlier about, I would rather you start from the IT specialist, IT analyst kind of role. So this will give you an overview of what you can do. Instead of the Google certificate, the entry-level certificate, I'd rather you do this one. The reason why I'd rather you do this one on Coursera is because it covers all the specialty that I've mentioned, all the specialization, area of specialization I've mentioned. You can see it covers infrastructure, hardware, software, networking, cybersecurity, and a bit of cloud as well. So this will give you an overview, not the detail, but an overview of different areas, different specialization in the IT space. Then you'll be able to decide which one you really want to focus on. So this is some of the some online learning sites, so that you can leverage as well to help your learning journey. So what to expect in the breakout session? Quickly, I've got less than a minute. So I'm going to help you assess your interest. What's your interest is? I'm going to be assessing your interest and actually help you to create the correct path. I'm probably following up if you're really ready to move. Because I'm not going to move. You need to move at my pace. I'm not going to move at your pace, but I'm ready to help you to get to where you need to get to in the IT market. How to increase your earnings rapidly. This one, I can tell you, in a year, I increased my earning by almost 50K. In a year. How I did that, I'm going to be sharing my story with you as well. A lot of us don't know our worth. A lot of people, we negotiate. When we get in a contract, we negotiate. We don't negotiate very well. We don't know our worth. Employer will not tell you what, you will be the one to tell the employer the worth. So they only pay you what you think you want. So I'll teach you how to assess your worth, basically. Loyalty and career goals. Tips on moving up the corporate ladders. And a few other things, basically, which I'm going to be sharing during the breakout session. And I'm going to be sharing my own personal story. How I went from not having a job to working for one of the top companies in the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I think we're in a better world, and for all the speakers, everything comes across. We talk about height, and I don't think there's anything in this generation you will do that we won't talk about height, data, and the likes. Okay, I believe we have a lot. I hope we're taking our notes and questions. We have a lot to gain during the breakout session. So proceed to the next speaker. Yes. I'll be inviting Nana Boateng. Yes. He's a veteran. Yeah, he served in the British Army. And is a dedicated prison officer with 3 years of experience. Focuses on protecting the public and preventing reoffending through initiative life skills for life, the thinking skills program, and the like. So it's into the civil service, the HMS. I know for some of us, probably we are looking at job security and the likes. So we will deal with that. So please welcome Nana.
Thank you very much. Before I continue, I would like to thank our Papa of the house and the Mama for such an opportunity for all of us to meet here. It's been an honor to see all of you. Yeah, so let's clap for them. And as he said, I would like to share with you some of the experiences of our life. And as believers, our faith is built on the Word of God. And if you look at the Word of God, you can see God, who was our creator himself, was a worker. If you look at Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, you can see the creation story. It shows vividly that our God was no lazy person. He worked very hard. So as we are gathered here, we're here to turn our life around. So let's take this opportunity to take everything that we take him very serious. And on this note, I would like to introduce to you civil servant jobs. So if we talk about civil servants, that's a group working for government, departments, and agencies to maintain professionalism and impartiality and continuity of government operations. If you look at the UK, we have agencies, departments, like if you go to Medway now, you can see a lot of nurses there. All of them falls under civil service. And they are there to implement policies made by the health ministry. And if you look at the legislature, like if you go to parliament, number 10 is there to make legislation for us, which can help us implement policies that will benefit residents and citizens of the United Kingdom. So we as civil servants are there to make sure these policies come into place. That's what we are there for. And if you look at, you can see we work with professionalism, which means as a civil servant, you need to always show a level of professionalism and also be very impartial. You need to always do the job to that requires standard. Okay, and in our career, we have a lot of career development based on your knowledge, your qualification, your experiences. But let's put this one aside. There are a lot of civil service jobs that you don't even need any qualification. All you need is the right attitude. Because there are a lot of people here who will not even go to Google to even check what kind of jobs that I can do. Because most of these jobs are there for the benefit of citizens. All you have to do is show interest. They will employ you, they will train you. That's where apprenticeship and training comes into place. Okay, so the civil service rules are to serve the public. That's why initially I used Medway, for example. We have a lot of nurses in our midst. They are there to serve their community. So what we do is a direct impact to the society. You can see all the speakers we're talking about, big figures. Civil servant, we are there to make sure that the public is safe. We are there to render services. That's why it's not everyone who can be a civil servant. You need to love your community. You need to have the job at heart. If not, it's a no-go area. So most of you here, and looking at your background, where you're coming from, are the right candidate for said jobs. So please, this opportunity to be on board. And yeah, if you look at the policy implementation, we dare to implement the policies of the government. Like as I said, number 10. If you look at this, Rwanda, Salam, whatever they've implemented, they need to be staff on the ground to help these policies come into place. And that's where we come in. I know there will be a time that we will have to send people by force. That is when we, the staff, comes in. Sometimes, some of the job that you have to do will be something that you don't really want to do. But as a civil servant, you work with impartiality. You need to do the job across board. And as you can see, we have responsibilities of a civil servant. We have the ethical principle. You must always adhere to the ethical standards, such as being very honest, integrity, fairness, and impartiality. There are a lot of places that you go, you see a lot of nepotism. That's when people put in place people, they know them. A civil servant, conflict of interest should never be found anywhere. You need to work based on the ethical standard of the civil service. So if you are here and you set your heart and you feel this is the place I want to be, I want to make impact to the society, I want to cause change, then that's the right job for you. And accountability. As a civil servant, you are accountable to the elected officials. That's those people in the parliament. We respond to the Prime Minister, we respond to the Crown. That's why if you see any civil service logo, you see the Crown there. So if you can see, like my badge, you can see the Crown there. It means we respond and we are accountable for anything related to the Crown. And as a matter of fact, whatever you do, you are responsible for it. Don't say because I represent the Crown, I represent the Parliament, so I'm going to mess up. You are accountable for your behavior. Each person is accountable for his behavior, but we stand for the civil service. And we try to make sure that there is always transparency. Public servants are very instrumental in promoting transparency and accountability in government operation. Like if you go to UKVI and you want to go and renew your visa, they will never say because I know you, whether you qualify or not, I'm going to make it for you. No, you need to meet the right requirements. So you need to be very transparent. That's why there's always set guidelines that you need to meet. That's when they tell you need to have like proof of address, proof of this. You should have said it this way, you should have done this. That's why accountability comes to play. So as civil service, we are there to make sure there's accountability in every aspect of this country. And we also do service delivery. As I said, if you go to Medway, you can see the nurses running up and down. Sometimes they're very tired, but because that they are called to duty, they can never say no. I know enough nurses that you go there, some people are even abusing them, but they love the job, customer first. They need to always adhere to the ethical standard. So without wasting my time, I'm going to introduce to you His Majesty Probation and Prison Service. That is where I work. And it's a very lovely place. It can be tough, but very interesting and very rewarding. So if you look at it, our mandate as officers of prison is to keep in custody those who are committed by the Crown so that the public can be safe. So whilst you are sleeping, we are protecting you. We're keeping this criminal behind bar so that you can have a peaceful night.
Thank you.
And if you can see, it's a very important system in the UK. And we manage the prison, supervised prisoners, serving community centers or probation. So it's not just only in the prison. Even when you are out, we're there to ensure that there is continuity of your life. You are not re-offending. I know prisoners that I'll take to reception and I'll tell them, don't come back, take off. See you next week. Because there's no policy there for them. But if we get people like you and me who are so much committed to do the job well, and we put in place policies and probation to doing their work, these people will never offend and come back. And we're never going to use our taxpayers' money to feed these people whilst they are in prison. So if you look at our responsibility, it includes supervising prison operations, assuring prisoners safety and rehabilitation. I know sometimes most people have the idea that they are criminals, so they need to be treated anyhow. No. When you come into the prison, they are like service users. So we need to protect them. We need to protect them from harm. We need to have policies in place that will protect these people. I bet you some of them are even living a good life there. When you come to some of them, their cell is like a holiday camp. Yeah, because we put in policies that will prevent them reoffending. Sometimes it's not going to work 100%, but we're making it. That's why we need committed hands to come and support us. And we also administering of probation service. That's when they are out. You need to make sure that you keep an eye on them. They are not reoffending. They are not stalking people. They are not harming the public. That's all our job. Carrying out risk assessment. Before someone even gets released, we need to carry out risk assessment to see if this person is dangerous to the community. Because there are people who get released, but will still be in a restricted area. Like maybe you committed the crime in Kent, you can even put policies in place that this person never comes to Kent again, so that these communities are safe. There are some of the risk assessment. And within the prison walls, we do a lot of risk assessment to make sure that this person is of that high criminal record, so we need to separate them. And also carry out policies. So policies that the government put in place, like recently, we had a policy that prisoners will be released 70 days earlier. So which means we as prison officers need to carry out these policies, because most of the prisoners are becoming full. So we need to do risk assessment and see who can be tagged, who can go into the community, who can serve it. And also conducting research to improve offender outcome and public safety. So whilst they are in there or out, we need to conduct all this research to make sure that the public is safe, so you can sleep peacefully whilst we are at work. Okay, so the roles and responsibility, that's maintain order by patrolling, monitoring inmates, and responding to problems. We have a system in place. There's one that we call FMI, that's 5 minutes intervention. That's when you give the 5 minutes of your time to talk with prisoners, to see issues that they're going through. A prisoner can serve harm just because you did not give him that attention. So as officers, we train to deal with all this. Sometimes what we say to someone, like someone can tell you after giving up on life, it do happen to me. They come to me, Gav, I'm tired. I feel like tonight I need to die. And I ask them, are you living for yourself or are you living for your family? You need to trust in God. Sometimes the way you talk to them, let them realize that they should never be selfish anymore. They need to think about the bigger picture. So that's where we come in. So it's a very tedious job, but we need people committed. And we need to also adhere to prison rules through searches and also prohibition and discipline sanction. You know, people come into jail because they committed offenses. So they come in there so that they can be reshaped. Because there are a lot of prisoners who have never worked in their life. Some of them have never even put on a white shirt before, not even a tie. That's why if you see prison officers with the white and black, it's just to show to them that when you get out, you can also put on a nice clothes and go to work. That's why we have a routine. You wake up at this time, you go to work at this time, come back at this time, so that there can be a bit of discipline in their life. So every system that we do in there has the reason why we do that. And if you look at it, we support them through mental health initiative and conflict resolution. As an officer, almost every day, they go to resolve issues. That's why if you come to the prison, it's not just only officers. We have teachers, we have mental health practitioners, we have nurses, we have GP, we have admin clerk, we have pastors. Honestly, the prison is like a community. You have everyone involved. So don't just, it's only officers. We have business analysts, we have health and safety people. Everyone is involved in the prison. So it's a job for everyone, not just only the strong one. Everyone here can work in the prison. We have digital marketers, people who say good things about the prison. People who are writing about us, because sometimes, public can say damaging things about the prison, but it's up to them to let them know the good side of the prison service. And also, we need to prepare for emergency. Sometimes you go to work, the first thing you see is someone hanging. Yeah, the first thing you see someone is hanging. So what do? Sometimes you need to do the risk assessment. Should I go in or should I wait till people come? If you love God at heart, you're going to forget everything and run in there. People will tell you, why did you go in? But because you have good conscience, you don't care that whatever will happen, because you want to save life. Sometimes very traumatizing, but you need to patronize risking your life and saving others. Yeah. And sometimes you need to keep accurate records of activity, events, and action. That's why if you come there as an officer, you need to get at least a logbook so you can write everything that happened. Because every minute something can change. There's no same day. Every day is different in the prison service. Every day is different. And we also do inmate rehabilitation through educational, vocational, and counseling program, fostering reintegration. As I said earlier, when you come there, it's a whole larger community. We have pastoral care, we have educational reform, we even do open university there. Some of them are even doing masters in the prison. They are not paying for. That's why you release the people and they still want to come back to the prison because they get free food, free healthcare, everything is free. I bet you if many of you call an ambulance, they will tell you you need to wait the next 4 hours. If you call ambulance in the prison, 15 minutes it will be there. If you call that there's fire, they will run. They can bring like 4 trucks. That's how they respond to people there. Because it's a very integral part of the community. So in the day of the life of a prison officer, I wanted to play a video, but unfortunately it's not being able to play. But during the breakout session, maybe we can have the opportunity to watch so you can see it like from that side of the view of officers. And I also have a lot of officers in our midst that during the breakout session, if you have any questions, you can go to one of them. They are willing to assist you. Yeah. And so working in a prison is very fast-paced and at times very challenging. That is very true. In a day, sometimes if I count the paces I've made, I bet you it's like walking from here to maybe London Bridge. Because in a day, you can run, you have to respond to alarm and all that. And there are days that is very chilled. So every day is never the same. So you experience high and lows within the work setting. However, this will in turn build on your knowledge. That is a very true thing. Because I bet you in the prison setting that built me very well. When I left the army, I felt like, no, I want to go back home. This country is not for me. But when I went to the prison service, I felt like I found myself. You get what I mean? There are a lot of you here, as the Bible says, go to the prison, take care of those people in prison. There are people who are not going to be pastors. Yours is to take care of those people. That's why there are some of you need to take job tests so you can implement proper policies. And there's always training and supportive to help you feel confident and assertive in your role. There's always training throughout. There's always help. When you feel like your mental health is going, they are there to support you. There are chaplains there. There are care team. Anytime you feel, no, I can't make it, go there, they will help you. If you don't seek for help, no one can be there for you. Yeah. Life can also depend on the prisons, the level of security and the prisoners. That's why if you are looking for the job, you need to think about the category you want to go. You don't just say, I want to work in a prison, so you just apply. You need to ask questions. And you have to be responsible for around 6 prisoners to support their rehabilitation. That's why we call key working. That in a week, you have to try and speak to these people. Because some of them have been there for like 2 years, they've never contacted their family. So when you're able to keep work with them and you help them reconnect with their family ties help people rehabilitate. But there are people who are committing crime because they are homeless. But if you're able to manage them professionally, you're able to aid them, they go out, they never come back. So if you look at the category, so in England and Wales, prisoners are categorized based on the risk of escape. There are most prisoners who are very dangerous. So said prisoners are always in the cat A because they are a danger to the community and even to the government. There are suicide bombers even in prison. So said person can never be allowed out. You know what I mean? They need to keep a close eye on them. And when you come to Cat B, there are people who are in the local or training prison. Yeah, so like if you are being arrested by the police, you go to your local prison before you are being processed and come to other prison that you befit. And we have Cat C, that's where I work. That's where you come in, we train you, we prepare you to go back into the public. We also have category D. That's like a minimal security. That's where you are already ready to go and work. Most of these delivery drivers you see are prisoners. They are from Kati. Yeah. So these are the qualities that we need. You need to be very honest, resilient, communicate. You need to have people skill. You need to be able to communicate to people. You need to be able to diffuse issues. And the ability to work effectively in challenging and change the environment. Okay, and these are the required skills. You need to be very empathic. You need to put yourself in others. Because if you are not there for people, you can never change them. So we're going to continue the rest in the breakout session. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, that's interesting. Yes. If I may share, I think one thing I learned coming from Nigeria, I used to know that once you hear civil service, it's all about job security, right? But I think I was able to understand that. So join the civil service, you must have the community at. Yes, very, very important. So I'll be inviting the next speaker. Yes, the next speaker is our sister Esther Olale. She is a project manager. Yes, Prince 2 certified project manager with over 6 years project experience, delivering business change and digital transformation projects within the health, public, and legal sector. Please welcome Esther Olale.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. How are you finding the day so far? Informative. I was just saying on the table here, there's something for everyone, depending on how open-minded you are. So I'm a project manager, and it took me a very long time to get here. But the wonderful thing about project management, regardless of what your role is within project management, because it's very vast, all these sectors and industries that we've heard about, even in the civil service, you can work as a project management professional. So I think it's just about being open-minded and just don't limit yourself to one specific industry. I know some people want to work in banking, maybe because their parents worked as bankers or whatever, so you feel like, oh, I have to work in banking. But even if you're not a banker in the true sense of the word, if you want to get into project management as a business analyst, a digital marketer, a civil servant, those the roles of project management is represented in all those industries, even in healthcare. So if you've recently come into the country and you're working in the healthcare professional, if you have a plan, or if you're working with an organization or someone that can help you put a plan together, you could work towards becoming a project management professional in the healthcare industry. So my encouragement to us, in addition to everything we've already heard so far, is be very open-minded, don't be close-minded. The way God would, for those of us who believe in God, not assuming that we all believe in God, but if, the way you can be favored, it's it's much better if you're open-minded, because you can talk to someone like our speaker here, Mr. Femi said, all you need is one opportunity. And something I learned from John Maxwell is that there's a principle called failing forward. So people who have succeeded at everything, you went to school, you passed all your exams, you went to secondary school, passed all your exams, you were always at the top. they've never experienced failure. So sometimes we feel like that's the definition of success. But people who have failed, they've learned how to push through obstacles. So an obstacle could be that, okay, I'm not earning enough and I want to push myself to earn more. So that could be your obstacle. So maybe you feel like, okay, I've not really been successful according to the world of society's or my community's definition of success. But then you push yourself forward and you get that role, whether it's at the level you want, but you get it. As we're talking here, we're just breaking into some of these areas, and I'll be talking about breaking into project management. So how many people are project management professionals here? Let's just see. Okay, you're actively working in project management. You were a project manager. Okay. How many people have worked in project management? Okay, just one person. How many people want to break into or are interested in breaking into project management? Okay, so that's fine. Something for us to think about. Okay, well, I'll get through. I'll just do it very quickly. Perhaps what you wanted to hear about has been covered. So what is project management? I've put two definitions. So one that's used more globally is PMI, and the one that we use more in the United Kingdom is the second one, and that refers to Prince 2. So how many people have heard of Prince 2? Okay, that's better. So according to PMI, project management is defined as the use of specific knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to deliver something of value to people. So our speaker here was talking about when you have a business, your business is delivering value to people. So if you package it as a project, okay, I want to be a fashion designer, I want to own a fashion brand. You can package it as a project up until the point where you start selling your goods and services, but you are delivering some form. The end result of that is that you're delivering some form of value. So in an organization or corporate setting, we talk about it more from a point of view of benefits. So in the intro, it says that I specialize in digital transformation and business change projects. So a business change project could be that, okay, maybe everybody comes in at 9:30, that's the agreed standard time. But we want to change the time of working for everyone to start at 9 o'clock. We cannot just announce, although some people do that, we don't just announce and say, oh, from tomorrow, everybody must come in. We have to do quite a number of things to get us to that place. That's changing the culture, changing behavior. So that's a very, very loose example. It could be, okay, maybe people clock in and we want them to now, they have to come into work and clock in on a device on the wall at work. So I had to do that when I worked for McDonald's many, many years ago. You come into work and you clock in. But now there are apps that you can use. Once you come into work, log in on your app, you log in and the system and management know that you're there. So that's a business change. You're going from an outdated system to an updated system. That's a business change. That's also a digital transformation project because you're going from an outdated digital way of working to an updated digital way of working. So projects I'm currently working on right now, I'm working on, I was working on the SharePoint project. So moving us from an outdated data management to SharePoint, which is used all over the world. SharePoint is part of Microsoft Office, so you probably already know, and it's just a way to store data, etc., and all those things. But it's a digital transformation project because it represents changing the way we work, right? So it's about delivering value to people. So the people could be the management, the organization, a business unit, a community. That's what that is all about. And the Auxilios, which is responsible for Prince 2, defines project management as the discipline of applying specific processes and principles to initiate, plan, execute, and manage the way that new initiatives or changes are implemented within an organization. So within that first sentence, that's the life cycle, according to Prince 2, of a project. So you initiate, that's the starting point. Two of you might come together and say, oh, we want to do this. You've already started talking. That could be, some people would say, it could be a verbal conversation, it could be a written email, it could be something along those lines. Oh, I think we should do this. You know, we've been struggling with this. I think we should do this. And as I'm talking through, I want you to think about your current situation, where you are, how you can, you don't have to be the director or CEO or a senior person to suggest possible projects. You can suggest it, and if it's something that the organization you're working for needs, they might decide to run with it either there and then, or put it on the pipeline of future projects they want to deliver. And that's usually called a project. Some people will call it part of the project charter. Some people call that part of the, what's the other one? I was going to say project brief, but it's just like an outline of what the project is. You know, that's the official line to say, okay, this is when we agreed, or this is when this idea came through. It's been discussed at a very high level. And then once you get allocated there as a project manager, you have a series of meetings, and then you go through to the next stage, which is planning. So in that phase, you start to engage with different stakeholders, and stakeholders just mean anyone who's interested. So I said I work as a project manager. Mr. Femi works as an automation engineer. Is that right? Okay. So he's an IT professional. So if you're working in project management and you're doing a lot of IT or digital transformation projects, you will always work with people in IT. I work with business analysts because they define the requirements. So those are two stakeholders. Depending on the type of project, if it's a project that involves branding or marketing, we could have our digital marketer. If you're a UX specialist, that's user design, that could also be involved, you know, so there are different types of stakeholders involved. It just means anyone that is interested or will be impacted by the project or the change that you're delivering. So all these people will come together as needed in each meeting and start to plan. And it's from that point where project plans, timelines, how the project will be managed, governed, the budget, the cost, etc. will be planned out. And once all that is done, you may not have it down to the detail, but you begin to formulate it. And I always say with teams that I'm working on, especially if it's a new project and I'm trying to drive it forward, I always say, let's start with a skeleton. And why I like to say let's start with a skeleton is, in the true sense of the word, a skeleton is just like a frame with bones, right? There's no flesh, there's no muscles, sinews, no organs, nothing. That's the basic form of it. So when you see it, you can say, oh no, actually this does not fit the frame that we are thinking of in terms of planning, documentation, all those things. And then you can begin to take things out. So if things are disjointed, you can take it and begin to put it in the right place. So that all that happens in the planning, then as you go on, as you move from plan to execution, it begins to take on more form and flesh. But execution is where you actually, it's called delivery. That's where you actually begin to do the work because you've already done the planning. So we talked about earlier, we heard about doing research before you go out into the market. So in project management, that's planning, right? And then when you go into execution, that's where you now say, okay, maybe within the next 3 months, we've already done all our discovery, we've done all our investigations, we've put all the plans in place, everything has approvals, and now we're going to start delivering the project. And that's where, obviously I'm speaking at a high level here, but that's where you do that. And then managing the way that new initiatives or changes are implemented. So part of a process in Prince 2 is what you call monitoring. So whilst delivery is going on, you have things. How many people have heard of quality control or quality assurance? Yes, so as you're doing a project, depending on what approach you're taking, you have to keep checking that what you're delivering is fit for purpose, because a lot of projects actually fail. So when you do the research, you will see that a lot of projects fail. And it may not be that they don't deliver, but they fail maybe on 3 key quadrants, which could be on time. So let's say they budgeted 1 year to deliver a project, but they deliver that project within 2 years. Even though they point in case could be the government. There are many projects that they deliver or that they're doing, but they fail in terms of their targets. So HS2, how many people have heard of HS2, the high-speed train, right? So they've already spent billions, and I don't think they've finished, and they've already, made an amendment to it. They're not going to do what they originally told us, the public, they were going to do. So within project management understanding, that's a failed project, even though they delivered something, because they have not met their original aims and the project deliverables. And so project deliverables in a simple, and the reason why I'm taking time to go through this is you might already be doing those things, but if you're looking to break into project management, you need to start thinking in those terms and see, okay, how am I already doing those things? I may not be called a project officer, a project manager, a project management officer, except or whatever the various, or project analyst. But I'm already doing those things. So when you now begin to look at your CV, how you're packaging your CV, how you're tailoring your CV, and we're not saying, when we say tailor, we don't mean lie, but we're saying, look, do an assessment of where you are currently and begin to see how does what I already do now, how does it fit into what I'm trying to do, right? So when you begin to think that way, you actually see that we are all involved in some form of project management or the other. Okay, so a key thing to note about project management is it's very different to what you do on a day-to-day basis in your role. So if you are a healthcare professional, day in, day out, there are key things that you do that's non-negotiable. That's what we call business as usual. So if that is not happening, then you might get fired. That's quite different to what a project is. A project is trying to introduce a change. So if what you're doing is not introducing a change, it is not a project. And there are many initiatives that have been termed projects, but they are not actually projects in the true sense of the word, because project is about introducing change. So a project will involve the setting up of a temporary organization. And what that just means is that a special team will be set up to deliver that project. That's called a temporary organization. It doesn't mean like an entire organization, but it just means a special team, a temporary organization to deliver that change. Once that change has been delivered and accepted by the organization, that team will be disbanded. And they would either go on to work on the next project or go back to their day-to-day. They're not on day-to-day roles. Okay. And as everyone has said, if you have any specific questions, because time's not on our side today, we'll deal with it in the breakout session. So I've already talked about that. The key quadrants I mentioned are time, scope, and budget. Budget is a really key one. So if you work in finance and you find that you want to transition, you could leverage on that and be like maybe a project manager that works in the finance industry because you understand money, budgeting, etc. Let's move on. So I've already talked about what a project is. It's a temporary venture to produce a defined outcome. So we already talked about the change that we're trying to introduce. And I just talked about that. So I talked about the time. That's a key thing. If your project goes over time and you deliver, it's a failed project. But failed project does not mean that the project did not deliver. It just means a project that is not failed is one that achieves. So if we say, we have this project and we want to deliver it in 1 year, want to spend £500,000, and this is the scope, ABC, and you are able to achieve all those things within all the definitions you set, that is a project that has been successful. A project you deliver that does not meet even one of those things is a failed project. And if you do your research, you'll see that all over the world, globally, there's a lot of failed projects for various reasons. It doesn't mean they haven't delivered. It just means based on those things. So if you are able, as an individual or a project professional, to show how you are constantly delivering projects that always meet this target, you will be highly sought after. And that's actually something you can put on your profile, on LinkedIn or on your CV. So I won't go through this, but I think that the slides will be, if the slides are made available. I won't go through this because I've got a few minutes. So key thing to note is there are various approaches to delivering projects. So I mentioned, or it was mentioned, that I'm a Prince 2 certified professional. But then there's also the agile methodology, and Prince 2 just basically is a process, although they now have Prince 2 agile, but my Prince 2 that I did years ago is just a waterfall way of delivering project. And what that just means is you deliver it in a very sequential way. So you do A, once A is done, then you move to B. Once B is done, you move to C. Once C is done, you don't go from A to C or A to Z. It's very linear. You go from, you go in that direction, but with Agile, it's slightly different. It's quite iterative. It's a way to deliver very quick wins to the organization. And an example that is very good to use is we all have mobile phones, whether you're on iOS or OS, it doesn't really matter. But constantly we are being told, oh, there's an update on your phone, update it. I'm sure if you have an Android, I used to have a Samsung S2. And what's the latest version of Samsung now? Okay, Samsung 20-something. It's still an ongoing project. They're delivering it using agile methodologies, but from the point where Samsung, the first Samsung, you cannot even compare, but they've been delivering value to the business and to the customer ever since. So there are two types of values. They could update the hardware or the way the phone looks and release that into the market, or they could keep updating software on the phone. That's Agile. That's basically essentially what Agile is. And there are different ways to deliver a project using Agile methodology. So we have things called Scrum, we have Kanban, we have process-driven processes and different ways. And in the breakout section, I could, just highlight some of them to you. There are different methodologies. So methodology is just basically the way you deliver it. And an approach is, we'll say you're doing it either using Prince 2 or Agile. So I hope that makes sense. Right, so I already talked very briefly about this. So these are some of the skills. You need management skills, decision-making skills, problem-solving skills, attention to this detail. A key one we need is stakeholder management, because projects involve dealing with people, relating with people. So if you don't know how to manage people or work with people, listen to what they want. Remember, you're not working for yourself. You might be the project manager or on a project team, but if you don't know how to meet the needs of these stakeholders, then your project will get hindered. Seriously, because if a stakeholder feels like you're not listening to them, especially if that stakeholder is a director, then they could be, and I've experienced it myself. I worked on a project recently, and the director went to my boss, the head of PMO, and just complained basically that he didn't know what was going on the project, even though we were having weekly meetings. So those are some of the skills that you need. So the whole point of having this is to begin to do an audit of the current skills you have. And we can talk about this in the breakout session and begin to see, okay, if these are some of the project management skills and I want to break into project management, how can I even begin to pull it out? So I'll stop here because my time is up and we will go through the rest in the breakout session and some of the things that we can do. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, we are almost come to the end of this session, and we have just the last session before we proceed to the breakout session. I'm sure we are, can I say, full? And I'm sure your expectations are met to a great extent. So I'll be inviting the next speaker. Yes. She's an HR professional. She's the group HR manager at Ford Marketing Group. She has over 15 years of experience in human resources across sectors such as media, sports, retail, and the likes. She's certified, diverse qualification, and the likes. And I know we have, at least I know a number of students around here, so who will be interested in getting a lot of questions and the likes. So please welcome Emily Akram.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Are you guys tired already? Good afternoon, everyone. Wake up. So I need to do something, so. Yeah. Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much to Pastor and Sister Margaret for having me here. I really appreciate it. As the gentleman said, my name is Emily Akanimo. A very quick background about me. I'm Nigerian. Lived in Edinburgh, Scotland for about 11 years, where I finished my university studies, and a lover of Christ. I'm a mother and advocate for young people, which means that I really appreciate just giving my experience and helping young people to thrive. I have a job, 9 to 5, that's my job. I work as a global group HR manager for a fashion marketing and PR company. And outside HR, I am a coach, a mentor to young people, and I speak at different industry events. I used to work for music labels, so I used to speak to loads of young people that want to get into music. I am also an enterprise advisor for one of my local secondary schools, and what that means is we enterprise advisors go into schools to help career coaches and give them the real world work, not what they read in magazines and newspapers. I am also a board member for a local HR charity where we put together various HR events, interesting HR topics, and we get together with senior heads of HR directors and we talk about the challenges on that particular topic or topics. I am also a mental health first aider, and I am a church warden in my local church where I live in London. And that's me in a nutshell. So today we're going to talk about how to maximize your career. Okay. I'm also a founder for P2 Plus Coaching. I'm on TikTok, so I'm always talking about, yes. When I told the young people that I was on TikTok, they kind of looked at me like, you? Yes. So you have to be cool, you know, when you're on TikTok, you're very cool with young people. Where I share hints and tips on careers, how to put CVs together, cover letters. I also share apprenticeships, programs, graduate scheme, and also internships. A very quick introduction to the topic, how to maximize your career. I want to ask you guys a question. What are you good at? What gives you that kind of spark when you get up in the morning? I can tell you what I'm good at. I'm good at helping people, I'm good at coaching. I'm going to tell this story very, very quickly. I did the last time I was here. I used to go to a church in Leytonstone, headed by Pastor Ayodeji. And when they decided to move to Gillingham, I remember him saying to me, please pray for us. And I'm like, okay, no problem. For whatever reason, I had a dream, and in that dream, I was queuing to see him. And there were quite a few people behind me and in front of me as well. And somebody said to me, I can't remember whether it was a male or female, said, why are you here? What do you like to do? I said, I like helping people. Don't ask me where the trolley came from. I found a trolley, went to a local supermarket, I think it was a Tesco. And I just got drinks and snacks because I can see that people have been waiting to see the pastor for a long time. And I shared it out. And then I woke up and I thought, yes, that's what I am on this earth for, to help people. to share my skills, everything I've experienced in the last 20 years in HR, to share with other people, and for you guys to thrive in what you put your mind to. Right, okay. Did you put anything down about what you are good at? Think about it. What are you good at? What makes you spark? What do you really want to do with your life? Is this not about your career, by your job, 9 to 5? What are you good at? And in you answering those questions, this will help you to guide you and be your compass in where you want to get to in life. Answering this question will help you navigate your career and achieve your goals. And I want you to take stock of what you've done in the last, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 years in terms of where you want to be and what you want to do in future. It's very, very vital for you to set goals and for you to kind of find out exactly what you are good at, to understand what your strengths and what your weaknesses are. I know that my strength is HR. I can do HR. You wake me up first thing in the morning, you ask me anything about HR, and I will be able to answer the questions. And my other strength is also guiding, coaching, and helping others. And once you can assess all those skills, you'll be able to find out exactly how to navigate your career. I just want to mention something else is, as far as I'm concerned, my job is 9 to 5, HR. But my work is my coaching, it's me helping, it's me volunteering at church, and just making sure that whatever I've learned before I leave this world, I want to make sure that I dump it to everybody else that I come across so they can be better at what they do. And it's very, very important for you to ensure that you set your goals and you're very clear about what you want to do. A very quick example, I didn't know what I wanted to do when I left uni many, many years ago in Edinburgh. And I went through a phase where I did PR, I did marketing, I worked in retail. And not until I moved to London and I worked for a publishing company as an administrator. I sat in a disciplinary once with the then office manager, and I was curious about what disciplinary was. I asked a question and she told me, she said HR. I said, what's HR? And because I'm so curious, I want to learn more. So that's how my HR career started, by learning from my office manager and wanting to do exactly what I set out to do. Working in HR, you've got to be a people person. You need to be ready to be able to help interpret the company's strategic goals as well as the people plan. This is my favorite part of my slides. It's very, very vital that whatever you set yourself to do in your career, you are continuously learning. As many people you may know in here, artificial intelligence is taking the world by storm. And as an HR professional, we have to make sure we are learning and finding out exactly how AI can either help us in HR or not help us in HR. But we know that we have to keep learning. And it's very, very vital, I should say to you as well, you need to keep whatever career you choose, you need to make sure that you are continuously learning about new technology, any new systems within the industry. With HR, there's always new employment laws that we need to learn about. There's always new ways of working that we need to learn about. And being part of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Development, which is the body that is looking after the HR professionals in the UK as well as around the globe as well. There's always new things on their website that we have to keep learning about. And for now, it is AI. And it's quite interesting because next month I'll be talking about HR and AI on LinkedIn. And you need to stay updated on what's going on in your industry. I cannot emphasize that enough, especially when it comes to HR. As I said, employment law is always changing, so you need to kind of go with the time. Seek feedback is very, very important. And I would love to get your feedback at the end of this session so that I can be better next time I come and see you guys. Always seek feedback from your colleagues, from your line manager, or from friends and family, because at the end of the day, I didn't get to where I am today by doing good all the time. There must be something I've done in the process, and somebody's pulled me back and said, no, Emily, that's not how to do it a different way. So always remember to get feedback. And build a very strong professional network. Is anybody not on LinkedIn here? Super happy to see that, because LinkedIn networking is very, very vital, especially when it comes to going to different industry events. I am the queen of LinkedIn. I'm always on there, not necessarily when I'm supposed to be working, because the good thing about LinkedIn is, or any social media platform, you can actually schedule your posts the night before, so that you post following morning. A very quick story, I love telling stories. Very quickly, I went to an event, just an HR event, and the following day, somebody sent me a message via LinkedIn and said, hi, Emily, I saw you, at the event, you were very good, you were speaking to people, you were very confident. I was like, me? Okay, and then she said, I'd like to talk to you about HR community that I'm part of, and we're looking for a board member. I was like, me, a board member? Okay. So I spoke to the chairman of the HR charity called London HR Connection, and he said, yeah, we'd love to have you on board. And think about it, that was through me just going to an event, but I didn't even know anybody. And please, when you go to any networking event, you don't have to wait for anybody to go with, go by yourself. Because there's so many people that go to all these networking events and they're there by themselves. What I tend to do when I go to events, I'll look after the lone man or woman, and I'll just go and introduce myself, and we just start talking. So it's very vital to build your professional network. Mentorship and sponsorship. Mentorship, as I said, when I started this presentation, I'm a coach and mentor to young people, and mentorship, it's so vital as well. And they tend to provide you with guidance and support. I've got a mentor and I've got a coach as well. In the company I work with, the group of 3 of us, and one is 27, 28, and one is 22. And one thing I like about that particular group is that there's something that we call reverse mentoring. There's so many things I do not know, and I'm always asking, oh, what do you think about this? But to a 22-year-old, I think, but you're the manager, you should be teaching me stuff. I don't see it that way, because we can learn from each other. So reverse mentoring is very, very vital. If you're not sure about something, ask questions. So I will encourage you to seek mentors, and it could be one of your family members, it could be a friend that knows more than you do. So it's very, very important that you do so. Sponsors. Sponsors are it's not just like when you have sponsors for a football team or basketball team. Sponsors could be someone in accounts, for example, or in marketing, that have seen what you've done and they're like, you know what, oh, she's really, really good at this. So every time they go into a meeting and they may be going through the annual reviews, they can say, oh, by the way, Emily was very good on that project. I remember Sister Esther talking about project management. And they are the type of people you want to be friends with. And yes, sponsors are very, very vital. And it's always good to also collaborate for you to build relationships with colleagues. I just love to learn. So if Sister Esther knows something I don't know, I'll pick up the phone and just, by the way, do you know X? Because I want to learn more. And it's very important for you to be able to collaborate with different stakeholders, as she said earlier. I mean, when you work in HR, you're always working with the finance department, operations, as well as the CEO. I remember before I started with this company, when I got there, there was a team of 7 HR professionals, and now there's only a team of 3. And when I did ask the questions from the CEO, you know, what happened? Or he just felt that, you know, HR felt that they were running the business. And that's not how it should be. So what I tend to do is I collaborate with him. I go on to him and ask the question, what are you looking for? What are the strategy for the people plan, you know, for the company? And what I'll do, I just kind of put together like a very quick 1-pager, as he calls it, just a quick summary of what I think the problem is, why we should do it, and what the result will be. They like things like that. Do not take it upon yourself to think that you know it all and you can do it all. You need to collaborate with others within the business. Embrace challenges and taking step outside your comfort zone. I love to give advice. I love to help. The first time I got on stage to speak, I surprised myself. I was like, what? Maybe I did that? And the thing about public speaking is know your craft, because once you know your craft, I can stand here and talk to you all day about HR and about careers or the world of work, because I know my craft. Learn from failure and setbacks, and as the saying goes, fall down 7 times, get up 8. So just because I've failed so many times in my career, but I never gave up. I just kept, you know, trying and trying and trying. Even until now, I've still made so many mistakes, but I just go back, take stock. What can I do differently? And be ready to take calculated risks and assess the risk very, very carefully. Yes, work-life balance, well-being, self-care. Does anyone go to this spa here? I'm looking at the ladies. No? Oh, you guys don't know what you're missing. It's very, very vital. You need to look after you because, you know, as the saying goes, you cannot pour from an empty cup. I always take time. I do not have my work emails on my personal phone. I do not take my laptop, my work laptop home, because after 5:30, that's my time. And I also love walking, going to the spa. I love traveling, you know, a weekend here in Paris or in Switzerland, just to kind of manage. I mean, I'll tell you another very quick story. This week was quite heavy at work. It was really, really heavy that I nearly walked out. Not walked out to give up the job, but just walk out for that day because it was just too much. And I got really, really stressed. And when I'm stressed, I cry. And what I did was I just put on the gospel on my phone, just listening to Nathaniel Bassey. Jesus, yeah, you know. And as I was listening to that, it lifted me up, you know. So please take time and prioritize your well-being and look after you, no matter where you work. Please, I cannot stress it enough. Stress is a killer. So if it's too much, just, you know, take time out. I'm almost done. It's very quick. I'm just going to spend 5 minutes on this. The purpose of maximizing your career. I love what I do. I love me. I will not change me for anything, regardless of any mistakes that I've made in the past. I love going to work every morning. I love it when the young people calls me up and say, oh, Auntie Emily, I need to say, no problem. I will always make time. So by maximizing your career, your personal fulfillment and your values, it kind of gives you a sense of purpose and a sense of fulfillment. I just enjoy it. It gives me so much joy if somebody comes to me and say, oh, because of you, because of what you said, because of the way you guided me, I am now the HR manager for KPMG. I will be just shouting on top of the world and just praising that person. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, you cannot take all that you've learned and take it to the grave and not, I just want you to please always be there to help others. Professional growth. I started off as an administrator, as I said, and because I was so interested in what I wanted to do, I just walked my way through, did lots of training, did lots of events that I went to, professional network, and also by getting feedback from my friends and family and my colleagues as well. A successful career can provide financial stability, but at the end of the day, as I said, my job is HR, but what I do outside HR is coaching and mentoring. And at the end of the day, the job is not going to be there forever. So just think about that. Think about what you are good at. And finally, as a young professional, you need to be dedicated, you need to be perseverant and willingness to adapt to changing circumstances. I cannot emphasize this enough because, as I said, in HR, it's forever evolving and your career is going to evolve as well. And I hope that I've been able to, answer your questions that you may be thinking about. And if anything that I have helped one person in here today, I will be very happy about that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, I'm very sure we really enjoyed our day. Yes, okay, thank you. So before we go for the breakout session, we'll be having a 15-minute break, and let's maximize this period to network. Let's apply some of the lessons we have learned. Sell yourself. There's network. We also have some drinks and one or two things to take. And after the break, we'll be having a breakout session. I'm sure we alluded with a lot of questions and probably issues around change of switch of career, a lot of things. And we have so many questions, decisions to make. And the breakout session is along the corridor. You see the rooms along the corridor to the left, to the right. By now, I know we must have made up our mind on the various, the different breakout sessions where we have the IT, the business analyst, the HR, and the likes. So we can enter any of the room. That's where we'll be able to ask a question. So can we have a break now? 15 minutes. Okay. Yeah, let's make it snappy. Thank you. All right, so as you can see, we also expect, we need feedback because, yes, we need feedback from you. Yes, it's a way for us to also improve in organizing this program. So we need your feedback. You can scan the QR code. It's just a brief few questions, please. Okay, sorry, please. We have two classes, as you can see on the wall. We have two classes here for breakout session. So as we take our break, if you have any, another class will be holding there. So just have a breakout session. Thank you. So we have refreshments over here. We have refreshments. So let's go to
Oh, right, okay. Are you already okay? Or do you want to go out back to breakfast session?
Hello, there is refreshment. Please help yourself to it, please. We have 30 minutes, the earlier the better. We have everything to the right here. Please step forward and help yourself. Thank you. There's a drink, there's snacks and everything for you, please.
And for the breakout session for IT will be meeting here. And for civil service section, again, civil service section, again. So we have some officers in the house, right? For project management, career optimization, others is the room. We have the rooms along the corridor. Thank you.
Hi, sorry to bother you. We have a mini stuff.
But that was a good fact that I was doing when I was there. When I was there, because it was trying to continue to have the feedback. So then you realize that it's for everybody, but it's one of them. When that 5 years, you remember everyone was off. No, this is a people.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's
But it's only like 15 minutes. Right. I think it's just this is very sometimes, when I'm speaking about it. I won't rather than big cat. It's really massive.
Social media, which is like,
No join any classes. I know to join any class. Just checking everything. So if I go back to level.